There comes a moment in every life when the noise fades, when the opinions of others grow quiet, when excuses no longer work. And in that silence, you hear the truth. The hard truth about life is this: no one is coming to rescue you. Not your family, not your friends, not your circumstances. Life will not wait until you feel ready, confident, or healed. Life moves forward, and it expects you to move with it. From a young age, many of us are taught to believe that if we work hard, stay kind, and follow the rules, everything will fall into place. But life doesn't work like that. Life is unpredictable. It is unfair at times. It will knock you down when you least expect it, and then ask you to stand back up on your own. That's the part no one tells you. They don't tell you that some of your greatest lessons will come from moments of deep pain. That betrayal will shape your boundaries. That failure will teach you discipline. That loneliness will introduce you to your true self. You will lose people you thought would be with you forever. You will give your heart to situations that don't deserve it. You will question your worth when things fall apart. And here's the truth: nothing has gone wrong. Pain is not punishment. Pain is preparation. Every difficult moment is asking something from you, not to break, but to grow. Life is not happening to you. It is happening for you, even when it doesn't feel that way. Another hard truth is this: you will outgrow people you love. Some will misunderstand your growth. Some will feel threatened by your change. Some will only know the old version of you and refuse to meet the new one. And that will hurt, but growth requires space. You cannot become who you're meant to be while holding on to who you were just to make others comfortable. Letting go is not failure, it is courage. You also learn that confidence doesn't come from winning. It comes from surviving, from falling and standing back up, from realizing that even when everything goes wrong, you are still here. Life will test you, not to see if you are weak, but to show you how strong you already are. And then there is the greatest truth of all. Your past does not define you. Where you started does not limit where you can go. What happened to you does not determine who you become. But refusing to learn, refusing to take responsibility, refusing to grow, that will keep you stuck. The moment your life changes is the moment you stop waiting for permission, the moment you stop blaming, the moment you decided, I am responsible for my healing, my choices, my future. Life is not easy. It was never meant to be, but it is meaningful. And when you face the hard truth, when you accept it instead of running from it, you step into your power, because the truth is not here to break you. It's here to wake you up. And once you're awake, you realize you were never powerless. You were just waiting to believe in yourself. One of the hardest truths about life, the one most people avoid, delay, or deny, is this simple reality: no one is coming to save you. There will be no perfect moment, no magical person, no sudden opportunity that appears exactly when you feel ready. Life does not pause to wait for your confidence, your healing, or your clarity. It keeps moving quietly, steadily, demanding a response from you. From a young age, many people are conditioned to wait. We wait for approval, we wait for support, we wait for motivation, and we wait for someone else to fix what feels broken. We believe that if circumstances improve, then we will take action. If people understand us, then we will change. If life becomes easier, then we will finally step forward. But this mindset slowly steals years from your life, because growth does not begin with comfort. It begins with responsibility. Responsibility does not mean blaming yourself for everything that happened to you. Some pain was unfair, some situations were beyond your control, and some wounds were not your fault. But responsibility means accepting that healing, progress, and change are now in your hands. No one else can think for you, decide for you, or live your life for you. Even the people who you the most cannot walk your path on your behalf. This truth feels heavy at first because it removes excuses. When you accept that no one is coming to rescue you, you can no longer hide behind circumstances, fear, or the past. But inside that heaviness is freedom, because if no one is coming to save you, that also means you are not powerless. You are not waiting anymore. You are allowed to begin even while you are afraid, uncertain, or imperfect. Many people spend their lives hoping someone will notice their struggle, validate their pain, or give them permission to change. But life rewards at action, not intention. The world responds when you decide to stand up, take responsibility, and move forward even with small steps. Responsibility is not about doing everything at once. It is about doing something consistently. When you take responsibility, your mindset shifts. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And you start asking, what can I do with what I have? You stop waiting for motivation and start building discipline. You stop expecting others to understand you and start understanding yourself. This is where real confidence begins, not from success, but from self-trust. The moment you accept responsibility, you reclaim your power. You realize that your future is not decided by your past, your background, or other people's opinions. It is shaped by your daily choices, your habits, and your willingness to grow. Responsibility turns pain into wisdom, failure into feedback, and struggle into strength. Life becomes lighter when you stop waiting for someone else to carry it for you. Not because it gets easier, but because you become stronger. And when you finally understand that no one is coming to save you, you discover something even more powerful you were capable all along. One of the most misunderstood truths about life is the belief that pain means something has gone wrong. When hardship enters our lives, we often assume we are being punished, forgotten, or pushed in the wrong direction. But pain is not a sign that life is against you. More often, pain is a signal that life is shaping you, strengthening you, and preparing you for a deeper level of growth. Every person who has ever grown into wisdom, confidence, or purpose has walked through discomfort. There is no shortcut around it. Pain interrupts comfort because comfort keeps you the same. Growth demands pressure. Just like muscles grow by tearing and rebuilding, the human spirit grows through struggle, disappointment, and loss. Pain stretches your awareness and forces you to confront parts of yourself you might otherwise ignore. The truth is, pain arrives to teach you something. It teaches you boundaries when trust is broken. It teaches you resilience when plans fail. It teaches you clarity when confusion overwhelms you. Most importantly, it teaches you self-respect when you have given too much of yourself away. These lessons do not arrive gently, but they arrive with purpose. Many people try to escape pain as quickly as possible. They distract themselves, numb their emotions, or pretend everything is fine. But unprocessed pain does not disappear. It waits. It shows up later as fear, anger, insecurity, or self-doubt. Facing pain honestly is what transforms it into strength. When you sit with discomfort instead of running from it, you begin to understand yourself at a deeper level. Pain also removes illusions. It shows you who is truly there for you and who is only present when life is easy. It reveals what matters and what does not. It strips away false confidence and replaces it with inner strength. When everything familiar falls apart, you discover what within you cannot be taken away. Another hard truth is that pain often arrives before purpose. Life rarely prepares you with comfort before responsibility. Instead, it challenges you first, knowing that strength is built in the struggle, not after it. What feels like breaking may actually be building. What feels like loss may be creating space for something stronger to enter. Preparation does not always look like progress. Sometimes it looks like waiting, healing, or learning patience. Sometimes it looks like being misunderstood or walking alone. But even in those moments, life is working quietly, shaping your character, sharpening your awareness, and deepening your resilience. Pain also teaches compassion. Once you have struggled, you stop judging others so harshly. You learn empathy. You learn that everyone is carrying something unseen. Your pain expands your heart and gives your voice authenticity. People listen differently to someone who has lived through hardship and emerged with wisdom. When you understand that pain is preparation, your relationship with hardship changes. You stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? You stop seeing yourself as broken and start seeing yourself as becoming. Pain becomes a chapter, not the whole story. Life is not trying to hurt you, it is trying to grow you. And every painful moment, when faced with courage and awareness, becomes part of the foundation of the person you are meant to be. One of the most painful and least talked about truths in life is that growth often changes relationships. As you evolve, heal, and begin to understand yourself more deeply, you may discover that some people who once felt essential to your life no longer fit the person you are becoming. This realization can be heartbreaking because it challenges the belief that love alone is enough to keep people together forever. Outgrowing someone does not mean you stopped caring. It does not mean the relationship was fake or that the memories were meaningless. It means you are no longer aligned in the same direction. Growth shifts your values, your priorities, and your boundaries. And when those changes happen, not everyone will be able or willing to grow with you. Many people feel guilty when they start to change. They try to stay smaller, quieter, or more familiar just to keep others comfortable. But shrinking yourself to preserve a connection slowly creates resentment. You begin to feel unseen, unheard, and emotionally exhausted. Growth requires honesty, and sometimes honesty reveals distance that was always there. As you evolve, you may notice that some people only support you when you stay the same. They loved the version of you that needed them, depended on them, or did not challenge them. When you become more confident, more self-aware, or more independent, the dynamic shifts. Not everyone celebrates your growth. Some feel threatened by it. Some feel left behind by it. This is where the pain becomes sharp. You start questioning yourself. You wonder if you are becoming selfish, cold, or ungrateful. But growth is not betrayal. Growth is alignment. It is choosing honesty over comfort and self-respect over approval. Letting go of people who no longer align with your values is not an act of cruelty. It is an act of courage. Life has seasons, and so do relationships. Some people are meant to walk with you during your learning phase, others during your healing phase, and some during your building phase. Very few are meant to stay for every season. Expecting permanent roles from temporary connections only creates suffering. Outgrowing someone can feel like loss even when it is necessary. You grieve not only the person, but the future you imagined with them. You grieve the version of yourself that felt safe with them. But grief is not a sign that you made the wrong choice. It is a sign that the connection mattered. This process teaches you discernment. You learn the difference between loyalty and self-abandonment. You learn that love should not require you to silence your truth. You learn that healthy relationships allow growth, not resistance to it. Sometimes distance creates clarity. Space shows you which relationships were built on genuine connection and which were built on habit, convenience, or shared wounds. Growth exposes foundations. Strong connections adapt. Weak ones collapse. Outgrowing people is not a failure of love, it is a reflection of evolution. When you honor your growth, you create space for relationships that meet you where you are going, not where you have been, and that is how life moves you forward, one honest goodbye at a time. One of the greatest myths about confidence is the belief that it comes from winning, achievement, or constant success. Many people think confidence appears after everything goes right, after goals are reached, and after approval is received. But real confidence is not born from comfort or praise. It is built in moments of failure, disappointment, and uncertainty when you are forced to rely on yourself. Failure strips away illusion. When things fall apart, you can no longer depend on external validation to define your worth. You are left alone with your thoughts, your fears, and your doubts. And in that space, you either break or you learn who you truly are. Confidence grows when you realize that even after failing, you are still standing. Every failure carries information. It shows you what did not work, what needs to change, and where growth is required. Success can make you comfortable, but failure makes you aware. It forces reflection. It demands responsibility. Each setback teaches resilience, patience, and humility. These qualities cannot be learned through easy wins. Many people fear failure because they connect it to identity. They believe failing means they are weak, incapable, or unworthy. But failure is an event, not a definition. It is something that happens, not something you are. When you separate your self-worth from outcomes, you give yourself permission to try again without fear. Confidence is built when you fail and choose not to quit, when you face embarrassment and continue forward, when you survive rejection and realize it did not destroy you. Each time you rise after falling, your inner strength deepens. You begin to trust yourself, not because life is easy, but because you know you can handle difficulty. Failure also teaches emotional strength. It trains you to manage disappointment without collapsing. It helps you sit with discomfort without escaping. This emotional stability becomes the foundation of true confidence. You stop needing constant reassurance because you have proven to yourself that you can endure uncertainty. Another truth is that people who appear confident are often people who have failed many times. What sets them apart is not talent, but persistence. They understand that failure is part of the process, not the end of it. They expect challenges, and because of that, they are not shocked or defeated when obstacles appear. Confidence is also built in private moments, in the quiet decision to try again, in the discipline to keep showing up, in the courage to be seen even when results are uncertain. These moments are invisible to others, but they shape your identity. When you embrace failure as a teacher, your relationship with fear changes. Fear no longer controls you because you know failure is survivable. You stop aiming for perfection and start aiming for progress. This shift frees you from paralysis and allows growth to happen naturally. True confidence is not loud, it is calm. It comes from knowing that no matter what happens, you will respond with strength, learning, and persistence. And that confidence is built not in moments of success, but in the lessons failure leaves behind. One of the most freeing, yet challenging, truths about life is understanding that your past does not define who you are. Where you come from, what you have been through, and the mistakes you have made do not decide your future. However, ignoring your past, avoiding reflection, or refusing to learn from it can quietly trap you in the same patterns again and again. Many people either live stuck in their past or try to erase it completely. Some replay old failures, regrets, and wounds until they become part of their identity. Others pretend the past never happened, hoping silence will heal what was broken. Neither approach leads to growth. Healing begins when you face your past honestly, without judgment, and extract the lessons it came to teach. Your past is not a life sentence. It is a classroom. Every experience, especially the painful ones, carries information. Failed relationships teach boundaries. Poor decisions teach discernment. Missed opportunities teach urgency. Even regret has value because it reveals awareness. The moment you recognize what you would do differently, you have already grown. Refusing to learn from the past keeps you repeating cycles. You find yourself choosing the same type of people, making the same excuses, and reacting the same way to challenges. The situation changes, but the outcome stays the same. This repetition is not bad luck. It is unlearned lessons asking for your attention. Learning from the past requires responsibility. It means admitting where you played a role without drowning in shame. Accountability is not self-punishment, it is self-respect. When you accept responsibility, you reclaim control. You move from being a victim of circumstances to a participant in your own transformation. Another hard truth is that growth requires forgiveness. Not just forgiving others, but forgiving yourself. Many people remain stuck because they cannot let go of who they used to be. They punish themselves mentally for mistakes they have already paid for emotionally. Forgiveness does not erase accountability. It allows progress. Your past may explain you, but it does not excuse staying the same. Awareness without action leads to stagnation. Once you recognize patterns, you are responsible for changing them. This is where real transformation begins, not with understanding alone, but with different choices. The future is shaped by what you do now. Each decision either repeats the past or rewrites it. Small changes made consistently slowly break old cycles. Growth is not dramatic, it is deliberate. It happens in daily choices, in boundaries you set, and in habits you build. When you stop carrying your past as a burden and start carrying it as wisdom, your identity shifts. You no longer see yourself as broken, but as experienced. You no longer hide your story, you learn from it. And in doing so, you free yourself from repeating it. Your past is a chapter, not the whole book. The lesson is there to be learned, not relived. And once you learn it, life allows you to move forward with clarity, strength, and purpose. The hard truth about life is not meant to discourage you. It is meant to wake you up. Life does not promise ease, fairness, or certainty. It promises lessons, responsibility, and growth. When you stop waiting to be saved, when you accept pain as preparation, when you allow yourself to outgrow what no longer fits, when you learn through failure, and when you take wisdom from your past, you step into a stronger version of yourself. Everything you need to move forward is already within you. Strength is built through struggle. Confidence is earned through persistence. Clarity comes from honesty. Life changes the moment you decide to face reality instead of avoiding it. The truth does not break you, it shapes you. And once you accept it, you stop surviving and start becoming the person you were always meant to be.